Hello, my U-Turn family. Welcome to the U-Turn Show. If you are new, this is a platform for empowering our communities through impactful conversations, real life stories, and resources for youth and women. Every Saturday at 1 p.m. Eastern Time, we gather here to spotlight voices that challenge limits and those that reminds us that real change begins the moment we choose to turn in a new direction, to make a U-turn. So, if you are navigating change in your life, looking for clarity, or building the next big thing, you belong here. So, share this conversation and stick with us as we begin the real talk, real growth, real U turn.
Hi everyone. Hi, my name is Atong Bill. I'm so glad to be here today. So I hope it's gonna be a nice and educated conversation today.
It
Yeah,
is, it is, and I'm excited. We're already looking green, so his future is green. Huh?
future is green.
Future is
Yeah.
green. Yeah, thank you so much, Atam, for joining us again on the U-Turn today, and now joining us on the big platform, not just like last time. Now you're coming as a financial professional, financial advisor, and there's so much progress and so many other things that have happened in your life. So I know some of us, there are a few people that are watching us. Well, how about you just share about a bit about yourself for people who are new on our platform today? And talk about yourself, your business, and what motivated you to be talking about money now. Yeah, woman.
Acharan man woman. Okay, everyone. I'll talk more about my personal story. Okay. So I want to take this moment to share my personal story with you. Why I became financial advisor and why this business means so much to me. My journey has not always been easy. I came from a background that taught what it means to work hard and sacrifice to keep living even when life did not give you something that you hope for. Coming to America changed my perspective on life. That's what I can say. And I saw opportunities that I have never imagined. But I realized that something very important. I have learned that working hard to provide for your family is very important. But we also need to understand how to protect what we work so hard for and to make future informed about financial decision. That realization, that's why I become financial advisor. And that's why I choose this career. So I want to help families have conversation about money, and I want every family to have well-informed decision about their future and how to create estate, especially here in America. So I want people to understand that financial planning is not for wealthy people. It is for every parents, every young adults, business owners, and anyone who want to be intentional about their future and the generation that come after us. Thank you.
Yeah, that's very powerful. You know, financial matters is for everyone. Checking on gender, it doesn't have age. It doesn't have any limits, and that's why I'm really excited about this conversation today because, you know, we don't talk about money that much in our where we grow up because our background is usually cows. So we talk about cow, we all the cow, you the share, nyan mariar. But nyan with too, because with them came mariar and my couldn't.
Uh-huh.
So we have to talk about that a lot. So I just want you to just share a bit about go deeper. You know, take Benwara and now you to go a financial advisor. I remember when I came and started talking about money, people were like, "Hey, you want to plan now, so just kind of, and don't worry, our little one is also talking talking about money at the background, which is a good thing. So just tell us a bit about your experiences, now joining that business, and what is that business all about, and who inspired you to be there, or what motivates you to be there, like as an individual.
Okay. Once I come to the US, like on Bayana and Bokachiro prepared. As now you can see Ankin Belvi Parara like before. So, so I want something like I want people to understand something that anything to do with money, money is essential like water. So everywhere is money. So I was one invited by one of my friends. He sat me down and asked me about my intention here in America as an immigrant. How can I navigate life here and being new, like trying to adapt to a new culture wasn't easy. It's tough. So, and actually, when you think one of the first step here in America is to know is to work hard and know how your money work. So, can I ben ta working a deal but what I did not been hesitate. Kujela one of the reason is to get life insurance. So I did it for myself. Now on, I took this course. I go and set for a state exam. I was satisfied. And then go back to my community because people need to be informed about the finances here in America. I know we make a lot of money. We're doing a lot of things, but we don't know how to manage our own money. That's why I choose this career. Yeah. So being run pe ben Africa, run pe ben one, and degree oh stop. If I go to tell people this is what I know and let me help you, how we need pay ben one, we need in ten one. So actually, but yeah, the company that I work with is very diverse. So my customers that are not always South Sudanese, yeah. So can the family that chake coin. And if you want to talk more deeply about life insurance, like I is specifically life insurance, this is what I do, call. It could be personal life insurance, Nabaki, personal life insurance, group life insurance, any type of life insurance that you want. If you have a question, I would be more than happy to sit down with you and advise you where you can put your money to grow and you make something out of it. Yeah.
Oh, thank you for that. And that is, the power of, when you learn, you bring back that knowledge to the community. And I can relate with your challenges because when I came, I was also someone who is very active and searching like yourself. I shared in one of my recent videos that so I took time. I came here in 2013, and like I took three years without understanding how financial system work here in Canada. I was taking a lot of cards, credit card, helping some of my friends and family back home. I was all over the place, and I was student while working at the same time, and I was not you know careful about my financial future here. And one time I was having a conversation with a friend who was saying, you see, you might actually become homeless if you don't slow down. That after you graduate now and real life start, you will see a lot of things, so you need to plan ahead. That actually clicked something in my brain, and I actually met someone who was doing life insurance. They were working with WFG, and he sat me down, introduced me to this company, and we sat down and we look at my finances, how I was handling, my responsibilities and my future. We did some financial planning, and I actually ended up actually buying a life insurance, and I shared that knowledge with few people, but of course I will say people say you are scammed. Anyway, I've been now more than 10 years in Canada, and I still
Queen
have.
Kinto, imagine Impir, you have life insurance for the last 10 years, you never die.
I never died, and I don't feel shame because that insurance you can use it as collateral for other things. You can use it to borrow a big loan if you want to do a business, or buy a house or buy a car or something else. You can use it as collateral. It's a protection that's there. If I die, of course, definitely that money will help my dependents in one way or another.
Mm-hmm.
But so after then, I've been interested in finances, and then I've been working in bank in one of the credit union. But something that I realized, bringing that knowledge back home was that people are very skeptical about life insurance. In our life, I realize that people are just our check plan. So I don't know how, based on your experience and now, you need new perspective. And to read, what message can you give women? Especially, I don't care about men because maybe they have different ways of doing their thing. But now what we are sometimes our financial future depend on so we don't really intentionally think about protecting ourselves, protecting our children, because that is responsibility more to take care of the family. So what are some of the biggest money mistakes do women make in your surrounding with the back home and here, especially migrant women? And what lesson can they learn from you?
Okay. Okay, let's get back about life insurance a little bit. So life insurance is not just all about a death benefit, okay? It has a lot of living benefit. So it's about the people that you are care. If anything happened to you, like you will not be able to work for the first 3 months. Chiman ngi wo yen ba itne. The number one cause of bankruptcy in America is what is sickness. And what were human being mush? What were human being? If you are in a position that in Chilbalu pay Kedia, you will not be able to pay rent. You will not be able to pay car note and car insurance, kujala all those utilities. Well, kita panaki magen binum. Kaka bagaloka cake. Kukaka chipet kunaneng financial protection. Ike important na read. Man America adine chin kat inchil bari la ger man ga kan insured. Why il baran dengan la bala good. Kuna gerian kan insured kin majala bala sejeni. Kului ke lui record kului ke mes. So a important can a important life insurance is just not all about death benefit. And majority of our people like quite in my community right now, majority of them are depending on group life insurance. They need the agent quite in the lawyer. Group life insurance agent quite in the lawyer. Once your contract is being terminated, kati ya done. Ya done. Ikene yen piat be alle coach yana yana nearby alle coach now to when a group life insurance I know a cheap because your employer pay 50% and you pay 50%, but at the end of the day when things do not go well kula lo ni lo pol kay na chin kayuk tin kuna your personal life insurance it goes with you anywhere chala chilondu to coach ku chilondu chalondu chabela yumya you can pick it up from there. So to near in mitku, especially Iran and mit where coining families your go polo route. Majority of single people man Iran me, I don't care. If I die, I will not be here. So I don't care what are they going to do with my body. But to near in mitku, you want to create a generational wealth, life insurance is for you. You want financial protection, life insurance is for you. Tiniarin ting tu muj bala neng ting kir maria ting kirariar beg mani nya plawa ko kene ko life insurance ni kiro ko life insurance le mitku. That kene is for you. Please go and get it. The the financial mistake diar ke we women you can make by it na is not like not having financial plan depending completely on someone finances, ignoring retirement plans kaya katinga yuko low ADR, not having emergency funds here in America, failing to protect your income, waiting too long to learn how money work here in America. And this thing can be avoided. They can be avoided through education. They can be avoided through financial plan. So na koren go inyira kiento pinyitna. If you want to learn more, this thing I do it for business. So you can DM me and we can sit on one. I would love to help you how to tackle your obstacles, how to plan for your future, especially retirement plan. Let me talk about it. My duty of us work watch Bentley na take away it can mo randing a blue retirement, especially stay at home mom. When is making money. What about your social security? when did me acho go ting man this kar loy man internet nyete na error ko por man kay long ko le pio mier kunangin balo lot no mi akumin muke ba etna ache mit liben kay lui rely on. So do something for yourself. Have financial strategy. And all these things can be avoided. Buka jui when you can watch, ka when you walk a invest go away, dear book by book a juir, Muban achin go coin can allow young do le ben, young dot. When you could when you experience motherhood penalty by yourself, then at the end of the day, midayaka ka tik de, midayaka ka tik. Na chi yo wer mi tin chinam jola chot banguloy. So I would say na running. If you know your main financial capacity, invest. Even you can invest there, you can be around. So you would there instead been punches. Man, a lot of mistake you can loy punches or you 10,000. I learn to culture cool chica bella 10,000. But I dab couldn't value date on the. So that's what I can say, Akwal. Thank you.
Thank you. No, that's right on. I can clever the other call, and I wanted to answer. When we talk about financial planning, talk about protecting your family and your dependent. I chok because money management sometimes it's here queen tonga because even on I remember when we were in Kakuma, brand kun economic okay lo kai ke chok a queen. So when we talk about financial planning, many people, make it but I want to tell you, Jacob, that managing resources is not like bakol kunyong konyop, not donating to causes that you are passionate about, not helping people that are really in need in your family or in your friend circle. What we're talking here is having a plan to help others while also helping yourself. There are so many rules that you can use. Now, but we nongin, you know, 100% income, either be through business or through employment income. Kanang amount of money you allocate to kaka peer like 50% cover daily expenses you bill and then you have some maybe like 20% but now into protection like thing like life insurance or any investment product, investing in yourself and also your future, securing your future. You can have, put something into emergency savings here on natural well, and then you also have some percentage that you can help your people back home or here or wherever you are. Right? It's to have babu kubaka direct, but no budget planning. And if you need to learn more about that, you can reach out to Automobile or you can reach out to us here on the U-turn. We usually have a financial course. So one of the U10 course module is on financial planning. So it's not about book on young, it's having a plan to help. The problem with, sometimes because we're quite very generous, sometimes we come and I remember when on Pierre and Ben, and I didn't have concept of saving. I didn't have concept of investing. I didn't have you always a job you but which jamu it's something that about many youth right and a book and a young and a book akuma chin te yen you na yin ka your family yin ka is pocket money kun bakala jam so ka you get from sponsors yin ka pocket money but by you ku jam money ku baka plan out a live. I believe there are many people who were coming here and you can borrow money bakala bin problem solve back home and you are putting yourself in big problem. If you get into trouble other community members now will be getting by race could be in by support. That's why it's good to have something to help but also to help yourself, and that's the issue of financial planning. But Jala Buno, our main guest here, who is Atong, who is talking about her business. And if you want, we'll share her link. You want to reach out to talk about specific of what she does. Now we just talk about general themes and lessons that we can learn. Immigrant women to and also back home because what they are to get it is community who have taken so many responsibilities that sometimes we forget to plan for our life until we okay. You did not plan yourself. So how can migrant women begin, think about building wealth in a automobile, regardless of the income. There were not many migrant women. I never gone donation. You want so little. So how can you start? Like I know buying insurance is one. What other opportunities or ideas that you have applied yourself that others can learn?
Okay, yeah. What I can tell my fellow immigrant women is like you don't have to be rich to start investing. You start with what you have. Learn where your money is going. Create budget. Build an emergency fund. Reduce unnecessary debt like pana merin koja pure debt. Kuna ya win anything to do with debt by it na? E ka kwa ya ka screwed up. Ibani way dali bin ka reduce ka win unnecessary debt. Ka luwe ke reduce. Yeah, then start saving even if it is $10 or $25 or $50 in every paycheck. It counts. That thing can help you. And as your income grow, learn about investing. Like have financial literacy and seek financial guidance. This thing can help you to buy it. Africa will tell you. Then at the end of the day, what do you everything fall on our shoulder. That's what I can say, Paul. One by another. Ka to Kenya. An kala ndi boka chiro jipanga. Anek certain age when I yen period to chilatin. Kuchana mi take by pin mu choy mo ndu choy yo yen kir mayar ma ye mo ndu ye tram. Ako baneng something that you laid on. Something you can count as is yours. So anek when she one mad lwela tene question then I want you tije. Achu kula dogo kwa chikony. Coach Ben I like 80% of our money I going to be honest. Can I chap it back group be quite top internal group. At the end of the day, could name Miskla chin like you. Kayin la to you to go and then you coin. Anything can happen to you when he choked in a loy. You cannot be able to sustain your life for the first 3 months. Queen I Louis Queen to buy it no. Ku buy it na check pan woolen bean with bala accommodation. Ticheni yi evicted and in kin rena kana camping. It you don't know the landlord yenga. A chingy Africa the tina chipan with you though in Japan woolen in Japan rar can in chin cool bin kona homeless. Na chin kicham kill bala champan man kui. But na buy it na ku can ro stable like in the tinto can in kill a lui and abichari. Ku win a life insurance a chain a life insurance a core or kin bin kwa janyong. Akwala kwa chatting. The only time ene GoFundMe I think a loy community da che loy kadang che loy baby shower. GoFundMe a che loy graduation. GoFundMe a che loy pichen ran like kawun ka mier pyo en ka GoFundMe en ka loy. GoFundMe a loy tichi in react. The community yellow nyu pin can be chang to that buy it expensive it cost a lot.
50,000 they cannot have this year. So Kakos they just say okay, can't let one because you cannot afford.
So can I yan pia one mother not just bakaja nyong moy koy kungiro dia den ache kanang pan ulen bilatin ache kana you are on your own nobody's coming to serve you. So
Thank you for that. And someone actually asked earlier that are we talking to Coca or even people back home? This we're talking to both, right?
yeah.
So long as you are making income in adult, family, okay, you're not talking about money. Not talking about hock, right? The problem what about hock rate, especially was also Sudanese Dinka in particular. I think one of my U10 fellow was saying this year he was making his year solution, 1 year solution for lawyer for U10. And he said this year I man this year because get along with with no work in our mind is something easy. Clan you do you so clan you do waste. But when I hear do you, when I that by you, tinyandu, or maybe a generational cow do pass or you can why or cockadu got the loan there on Chikaku and I just think the bell coin. So when you hear so people know how people are my we can get to go for free like I Ben Pandu, Kulele, Walan, gentlemen, that why you know want to.
No. Even I had that panigin one allowing Malakan Randang Lord then it has to be cholesterol like nyandu, no nyan tiko nyan to lor can be natural meal. Well, nyan but in the factory, chiran kadan kem gama baj, chin kara baj.
So if we know that we have that mindset already, how can we apply it to now income? Because in now you are much much, and you are making income. No, how can you buy rock for it? You know who quit clock invest rock, right? That's a good way. But if not, you know, my okay, can and I used to buy cow on for business. Okay, I'll be able to nothing work. So now I stop that business. Now instead of whichever toy, because I work, I can maybe buy products, money, investment product, or a share in a company. And it's all on Facebook, and me at Facebook. I invest in Facebook shares. Okay, for example, if now extra money, okay, I don't want to talk about that, but let's talk about insurance and how to why it's important for women. And the next question is it's about now mindset. What mindset shift is necessary for women, to move from earning money to growing and building money? We know baseline that you start budgeting. Nothing and gap in life insurance so that you can do fundraising if anything happens. And there's something about our people, and I hear not just our people. There's a story I had from a Ghanaian friend that the end she accident actually got attacked and came at a critical situation. Doctor Corwell, Beneke Yellow, Beneke Linda alone, and family members and relatives are not paying a chin who can get a safe get out. So go let Doctor Yen just let my garbage and kito. And so then people will raise money. So so the doctor actually told the family member that actually unfortunately we lost him. Oh, everyone go fund me a lot of money were raised. So now I just want to raise when get your baby promotion. But you go look at surprise. So those that money will be used when any life. So this is just something that now our people only raise money when chinto. So if Nani that if in one time in the accident, one time in between, one time in the and you will not be helped. That's why you need to have kujipanga, but sort out in plan.
Panga
So,
mapema.
so back to you, Tongo. I talk about some of the mindset change that people need to do, and for people who know families, come with the educated couple, and I talk more in the thing there. Sometimes you feel you are protected. I know for single parent it can be different, but for the Arwin talk and they are very luck. I think they encourage about planning.
Okay, no couples, koi we rare to run at token window, which it yak, koi dora mandan I finances na check your honest road. So kilabale keke Canada, talk about money regularly, not only during the crisis. This thing can determine like the future goal for your family. And then set aside a time each month to discuss income and expenses and saving and investment upcoming goals. Create share financial goals. It can only because I became coin kujela being transparent about finances. Ke kwa kirom na chong eneng to chow eneng kadang join account. Kayinin ko everybody ko baneng personal account, not being controlled, but back and common goals. If thing goals out ku join account achin goto tin ka baneng ku dun bi ni wage. Ku baka lu invest asset. Baka lu invest asset. Ku jala pyo mit kun chaka ne mit ke dito pin no mitene ka baga tin ke mit ke is just not about baka to will being able go lo ye de of course ile bago to de ku lu ku ye kadang ku lu ku ba lu ku go fan mi lo ku wedi pin lo pan ma pet and then ku na mit chake wane bika lu yendi ija na jo ita like if anything happened to you today mit ku bika ngor ka lo in that neighborhood wa rir ke tin that question which I answer kin chia okay ting du bungot ke lu sustain for the first kadang 5 years man ningen ki chiro lo chan wak ben wo bijala chiran brede a chiran bi jo rir pin mitina it's just matter of fact wo bijal kwa chukur bu ya pin wo ye kadang ko ye jenga raj bi pin arit yen to but a part of life so ko ko nen common goals na chaka wechin mad iman we South Sudanese people to pana yerna kwal we work so hard compared to the other communities Chan warning too much pride. Kuwo we too generous, like we quite a lot. Most of our income achu ke loy ke kaka mit ko wel kaka our future watching in bad road. So ko buku taka road ku jala mit ko anchika diede ne majority of us man are investing back home there. Kuka loy ke bayar ni, what are the benefit? How is that going to benefit your kid here in America? Be it asset kun chakala build ti. Do you think they're going to benefit your family here? No. If that answer is no, do something for your kid here. Ki yeti ka ko banen kadang chalngo mpango wa kando is not about cheating on your husband, but ako baya intentional about your finances. At the end of the day, motherhood penalty gonna hit you on your own. Chin mamadu, chin mother you look chin ngayin. So each and every dollar you make in America matter a lot. Do something for yourself. Manewe kawajatinge generational weather call. Having a conversation with one of my African friends. Oh, I was talking to her about the importance of having life insurance. Okay. Actually, when jamo ko all about Gudian Tanguto, well, okay. If it is about death, why would you want to die for free? Actually, Ben Doll, this thing makes sense. Why would I want to die for free? If my dying will one of my child will get something, will get benefit from my dying. Why would I want to die for free? Yeah, why would you want to die for free if you can pay mortgage insurance, you pay car insurance? Why can't you enjoy your life in an organ? It's not because it's my business, but this is the reality. Actually, build something for your kid. Imagine if you leave your child 100,000. Come in, acha konya chit ba lo debt. E kadang student loan ba it ne. Achin pi da cha set. So yung ba ko bu ba cher ko an chin mar ko chin ngi chi ko wen wo. So life insurance could be an asset to the yin ko e parents. Ko e yiti kan mo. Sayang.
Oh, okay. So I've been talking, can't you on mute? Thank you so much.
Chiromira read.
I say a lot of many great things, but I want to just do a recap very shortly. So I said there are three things in automobile chocolate that are very important about financial, literacy. One thing, Bandu ngade comment on it first. Okay, that why do you want to die for free if you can have insurance and then you leave that insurance money to your next generation? Then that is another way of passing down, generational wealth, right? So I was saying there are many ways to live down generational wealth, right? If not rare war by rearing in your own country, in your own communal land, kalan a generational wealth that is passed down. Now, chiba do toka when lanin better can dom di don better pur. The hoka kwadi ke dung. So generational wealth was passed on from next generation to next. Right now, in modern ways of life, the way any generation wealth any build is if you have a big talent, you Ronaldo, for example, or in Polukura, you make big money, you start investing in big assets, then now you can pass down, that wealth to your next generation. Or in entrepreneur, like big ideas, many companies are low, then you can now pass them down to your next generation. Or if we work in a big job or government and we got corruption generational wealth because we can look at you get in crooked way actually are sustainable for a very long time. But if you really invest them, you can leave that generational wealth. But if you come like many of us who are starting from zero, who are good from refugee background, we don't want me to big bear, go from zero. That's why we started with okay, what is the easy way that you can leave something non go buy insurance now talk and right now can go to value of money you can use to do other things. You can use the value of that life insurance being in then will be in a business though it would business about when need go or a little bit you can do so many you can use it as collateral being in medical school right if for example bank usually has for collateral even in other resources, asset when baka and bank the bank then will be into a high profile careers, you can use that insurance collateral. So there are many ways you can do that. Another thing, Chalu, which is very important, and one person actually comment there was about that joint account in families. You were advising families, and we have had a lot of challenges where families have joint account, and then one of the spouse run with money could you later bloody or right who can well. So I don't know if that's something we can advise. You also say, okay, you can have a family account, but also have individual account if you are working, because we don't know the future. But one thing that I want to say that one of the best generational wealth that we can pass on to our children is family unit, right? If there's a way we can keep our families strong and not breaking them down, because when the families break down, there's a big poverty gap to create, and we can pass on brokenness, bitterness, and so many problems to the next generation. So uh, I want to put it there. And then another point, Chalwell, which I don't want to forget is, you know, being coming prepared. You always talk about preparation. You said when you were in Kenya, there was a place you reach in your life that you need to have three things. You need to have driver's license. You need to have bank account. You need to have a bank, driver's license, bank account, and what? There were three, and a passport. So you tell that to many women who assume that who assume that now you need to plan yourself always. I want you to repeat that. That's a very important part. Why is it important, and how did that help you when you came to America? You start talking about finances, you become financial insurer, and you are a health professional because you came prepared. How can women prepare themselves for opportunities?
Okay, especially kwa went to East Africa, yen kalaban ka jam can ke weto to win opportunities like diar ka lost boy kujara diar ka weti to juba anen himbo. So either any way that you can seek education. It could be formal education or informal education. That thing can help you. There's no way libin color would be but pitting a chroger ki. So, and the only way you can do that, and yeah, we're watching will. When I tried $100, well, he gonna yen mo yen $200. That 150 $50 can pay your classes once. Na chala so coolage. Never go ting pir ka bella in then kulo road. So na chala classic. Can basic education. Then get a driving license for no reason. If na way, if you know your main financial capacity, kuye chilwell imriti East Africa imriti Kenya ten go chocha uiri. Kuriya no kunen driving license, you don't need babel or kurukadang a driver. Yili bamit ku jalamit ko jere and ku koito around you ten. Alba ya ler sukuli. Kuye pay. A passport for no reason. So na chaneng passport ki like life itself can tell that you are ready to move to next life. Yeah, kweneng a lot of things the baka you in passport like there are some banks. Timani kden KBC, those national banks you can have account when you have passport. Yili big go chol da do international trip thing nyan wan mutitiak like to learn international trip in passport na chin passport. E ka chin to lo yen. And then say financial literacy. It will help you to manage your own finances. We win the when you will differentiate between needs and wants. Wants na chayan ngay ka na kabiyin kadang kabiyin coin. So this is what I can tell women. It's not all about women. It's not only women, even men also. Everybody need intention about financial literacy. It will help us because money are essential like water. You cannot live now without water. You cannot live without money. And if you don't know, you can work hard, you know how to make money, but know how your money work for you. Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah, those basic preparation are really important. Back home they are not. You don't need. You don't need to have a car because in client of chat ma burugwale. You get to guri. So it's not easy. Sometimes you don't need to have a bank account because we work on and pesa do it and local is spend like there's no plan, no investment, no nothing. But if you are planning big, right? You are not planning to just stay say for 1 year forever, or you're not planning to stay in new site forever. You want to move. You need to have passport. Many people are to Juba and they don't have passport.
They don't have passport.
Even thing happened today. But normally I'm like it has always been. Then because you need passport being Kenya, you need passport being Uganda to cross the border. So those basic things that people take for granted, like passport, like driver's license, like having bank account and stuff. Even someone was saying that Facebook was someone was saying, why is Facebook not monetizing in South Sudan? How many people in South Sudan, young people who want to be content creators now, bank account? Facebook doesn't pay people with cash. You need
you have to pay through bank account.
Then you pay. So there has to be infrastructure, there has to be system in place. It's very important. So I just want to say that, but some of these are infrastructural challenges, some of these are financial challenges, so we cannot blame you for not having those basic things. But for women who are very comfortable, because now rules sometimes we do this, but women are very comfortable because society won't need big princesses. But y'all are no, rusa in y'all no, like you're not really working hard to secure your future. So that's why we say these things. Because pan now like y'all in your own context, but in another country things change and you have to adapt. And so for some of us, it took many years for us to actually realize that the thing we took for granted were very essential, and now we are learning backward. The why we are sharing our own experiences, one year building for people to be cheer because we made a lot of mistakes. Personally, I made more mistakes than I thought. I thought about getting on patch. So because panga and I'm panga. So I'm panga. So I'm learning while doing things, which is really important. So now someone who is watching you today at Tongoya and yen which be Peter what a little good financial planning there little gear. What some of the steps they can take to either to really be intentional, especially they are totally trying. Also, they are to back home. Basically, I'm talking they are because they are very affected people. And I know kitchen when about me bite and which I'm being mad that you know what they are or back our parents depend on us. We have that our system back home was that you didn't mean could these kumuke so that means could be mummy and ajani. But system that works in even either back home or here in modern world, me that so how can women position themselves such that they don't have to be a burden to their children, instead being a blessing. And one of them is to have insurance. Or I don't want my children to be worried about me. I want them to be worried about themselves and about their life and about their future. So how can you advise some of your fellow young women, young girls to start thinking about that, about future while they still can?
Okay. Kid, you don't have to be rich in order for you to start investing. Courage been a be rotate around investment. So this is the only way that you can you can escape poverty. So young people diet if you have any opportunity, if you are making a little money, please invest on yourself. Try to invest in yourself. Seek financial advisor. Even like okay, technology man achieve reach ko na work call. You don't have to follow classes in order for you to learn something. Just go on YouTube and Google on your own. You don't need to pay a ton bill. Be ben a device. You don't need to baben nanga call your mentor. Just lo YouTube nyen. Anybody nenki you. Rare East Africa can run in support. Back ran to Sudan will ran to kadang I in support. Ikatin ya income. If you have monthly income, try buy something small by yourself. Chana la pire ran lu independent on it le to chan pire ran it to ka chuku tin ka juiru lo chimane. Some of my friends chike ga ti awan ka Kenya dati pir mo nyiran ku chito gudu na kuachin kichi like ebi hand to mouth ke ba ti to kulo ka kuma be bala pani jien ku kana chi pet. So try to invest something small like pane chol Kenya pet kene business. One of the Ankin Kore Uganda, but Kenya is one of the country where you can invest. You can have like technical. You can learn technical skill. Cuman baya nai kubaya nail technician. This skill achin wuju ye ke core is for everyone. Ye moj wele ye ti kurere East Africa. This technical courses ye ka loy. I very cheap. I very cheap. They can help you. Kubugu kedi de ja don ko ja depending on someone like ko cha edar mandane ko mu ko cha edar ko mu ke ka edar ko ya cheap your mir like problem at all everywhere. The only way that you can be happy on your own banana something you contribute to yourself. So balu invest. Na idam 100,000 yin 1,000 $1,000 a month moindu. Ki ye 200 you talk 100 you talk 100 lo invest. Jala baya ka I remember one time Kenya akwal ani ye ka I used to sell detergents kan yen ka pin waka. I make kadang I make jik kujala Dettol kujala sabun ni pin waka. My clients were Kenyan actually, so Sudanese and Sudanese at the road. Sudanese actually got support. And that small business I got 500 shilling. 500 shilling I and kadang chemicals I kala wa ku buku liab 20 kadang 20 liter. Jirkin dira buta latin. So abuta latin diene ya kadang ja komarara 1 liter. 1 liter ya 50 shilling. At the end of the day anen kadang kipanda iken ga de kenyin ko ka teme kadang cabbage kujala spinach ka tiken ka uje aya ka ta ka to gele kuletin Kenya lo kana ache 50 shilling kalu 10 shilling alu ta chane ka dede I make money and she make money out of me. This is how we bring money. So lo ajale 60 shilling. At now let's take a boo can go back mate. At the end of the day, 2,000 shilling. Man, you could buy a country, but they can't be but you come watch it, telephone book, and get to Australia, and then emergency balban, men, the lepanakimoko. If anything happened to you, to me, catch your random, but she answered, Benchi Bella, then will be a walk alone, kung at the end. You can now call by a logic or be in. So I call by intentional about peer revolve around money. So can you call the quite a back home to tea? We're quite die with your quite not America, please invest in something that will benefit your kid. Into buy it, be intentional about your finances, about your future. Achi korbo mit ku big chi bebe struggle chimane. My duty of what mat kiani cholos boy man that still paying them student loan. Mit ken man they're about to go to college. And because aka chin kadang their life I can set achin something a good cake aka joben goal from the scratch. Isa ko la chuko robert repeat. So ko balu invest asset, ko balu invest life insurance, financial security ko bugulum ke number one. Don't forget atong mabil anto Facebook atong go Pauline mabil, TikTok akuna matata, ako Instagram atong mabil. So you can DM me, I can go with you one on one. I can advise you. Ya ka no na tawo kutin America ne, ko ku bulu grow. Ya ka no like you always hear there's a saying here in America. The rich keep getting richer while the poor keep getting poorer. The rich get away with tax while the middle class is stuck with the debt and the tax. So if you want to know why, inbox at Mobile. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Atang. And we are about to close. What you doing? A few minutes, we are 1 hour. And thank you, everyone who have participated. Akunuma Jack, thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you, Joel Mayula. And everyone, my Jill, my Bill, your brothers here supporting us, and everyone like here and everybody that is there. Thank you for sticking with us and sharing your thought and your experience too about money matters, because it's really an important matter, and you could all discuss every now and then here on the U10. Our experiences, our mistake, will be shared, and also some of the insight or can walk in one year, and we are progressing well, well, because we are starting to work good from scratch. What this generation, some of the things we talk about here now on the youth, and I think be talking how to conquer the world, how to to be top people there, how to own the big banks, and I think I think how to save and everything, because we need to build that foundation for them. People bet here working the atom of bill will very correct. Many of some of generation were to 21 who came here and it start they were taking student loan, and that student loan and ke kon ke walk over to Africa. Me can man some of them were can lose save for their children. I mean can have a loan like them, and that generational problem will continue. So we don't need that to happen. So na Tom and into back home or into Pana, we know no music. Start planning for the future. Such that you will be a goal from where you started. Be a goal from where you are ending, right? It's a cycle to repeat. Because problem if you all going to repeat it become generational. We need generational blessing. We need to make right now to plan for future we never had, such that we need for people now in the future. So thank you so much at my bill. If Nanong last word the ballet cockle and the ballet then what we showed up close by our little one like attention. And for you, if you want to know exactly what I can do, leave a comment section, and we will also give you more information if you want to connect with her to learn more about her work and what she does. But today was just to come and talk about money, as always, because it's a very important topic. I always, we don't need to put our hope on children. Can we prepare? We need to prepare for the future such that we don't have to be begging them. They just have to be blessing us with showers, because we gave them all the tool they need to succeed. Just like our parents, they gave us everything they had during bad days. And now we're grateful and we are paying it forward. So when we talk about money, it's not just for ourselves, but for the next generation to be in a better place. So I tell my business by your closing remark, Yalwell, Kubuku showed up booth here.
Hey, and yeah, hey, and me the kai me the kai died and yellow kai be beat you lapping. My message to you today, I shall call back a better walk back a better lost boy. Chan, lost boy, I been on. Quachin quachic living in all mistake she cake loy. I yakala walk to Kabelo generation while Bena. Ku mistake chuka loy wan ga chiran chele walk, kalo road by it in a pan was it in a chukur back a bambik. So be intentional about your money. Una name kor ku wek do ko like ja ku ye ko an chen ko colonizer anything to do with white even the stupid echong rana won very like rana won like anything to do with white people ga ko can believe ako bu ko ya believe black people ran ngi ane ka ngi ko kuj so dun le ka ya ko pele be kana an chile balo no ngen bala tich loy pin loy rot di ku yong loy rot en tikiti atong mabil ije go ngui ne kana chi pet let's support one another ku a lot of information out of it it's very hard to know which one is true and which one is not, especially you na be no ran ngich karan ngich actually being more ale being la ke be le being coin be intentional about your finances ku ko pan weset na ako ba pir ke yin nobody is coming to rescue you either you take well you mo ako ba ya intentional about your finances. Pana kir ma yara I believe one day abu piat kuna le piat ko bula chien kuna lu kula bai ti ko wo bula kanen ke buku ler ki chuku ben pio bai ti na buku ler. My message to new immigrants ko wan bi wo ke aya ting mana tong ma bil mi ta ko na ko ba pira mer katina just live a disciplined life. Accord, just live a disciplined life. You don't have to be an academician in order for you to be respected in American society. Ko balon du balum serious avoid kaka wino ko chalo machakli cha dol min yen kala balle kuna ko ba chira tong ma bil ko ba financial advisor chiman diena DM me iba coin I will connect you and I will help you to become like me ku ba chira kwal pli bi adem ku jala ko and thank you.
Thank you so much, Tom. That's a very powerful message. The takeaway there, and when people are already saying they are starting to believe in ourselves, is what you repeat, what you really support. Why you support crutch? Kene jalo na to wa Tom ma bil man kwandu aboy ko. Bana bar kulo anti business dia na cha leo very slow to come and do you. They will start saying things. So we need, but anyway, everybody, there are people that are very supportive. I remember when we launched the U10 platform, we got a lot of support. And right now, we continue to get support from well wishers who manage help us to manage technology that we are doing here because we are doing this for free, volunteer work. And so there are people that believe in ourselves, but there are few who are still, can well okay, to learn from each other, to follow each other. I can learn more now because our experiences are more related than by we learn now. Say Michelle Obama. Michelle Obama, you are Raymond. How she grew up in America, environmental and thing, quantum and thing. Like there's no closeness. I would want Bashir, but I can never be because what make her very far from what makes me. So it's good to baratia who learn from each other, who support, who grow. So thank you so much Atong, for this moment, and thank you so much. I was expecting many U10 people, but I think they make a U10 to go and think about money, make money, and invest money. And plan money, so that's why they are not here. But majority of them are watching here. Each of Mayula, they are watching and they are supporting. Ola Kira, I saw her, she's in Ghana. So thank you, Atongoya. I don't know if you have any last minute. Where can they find you? You mentioned multiple times, but feel free to say that and I will end the show.
Okay, my last message and keep my U10 people quite died now. So don't wait until you make money to manage money. Number one. Number two, start with what you have, a being coin. And start something when you are ready. And protect what you already have, what you build. You have to protect it. And build a future financial that you will be proud and your next generation will be proud of. And that decision, you make it today. You don't have to wait. So whatever your future generation will be proud of is something that you make it today, decision that you make today that will make your future generation be proud of you. This is my U-turn message. Thank you.
Thank you so much. And with that, I think we're ready. I have a wonderful day, and let's connect on that end.
Bye.
All right, you say let's meet at the top.
Yeah, let's meet at the top there.
As we come to the end of this conversation, I just want to take a moment to remind you that the growth doesn't happen without taking a new direction. So if there is a message that has given you some clarity, some courage, or even a little bit of push towards the positive direction, I want you to take that with you, sit with it, go offline with it, and encourage you to continue to invest in your personal growth and say thank you for taking the time to be here for yourself and for the community, for the growth of the community. The U-Turn is not just a show. It's a community where real talk, real growth, and real U-Turn happens. So until next time, stay empowered, stay intentional, and never be afraid to make a U-Turn. Thanks. Bye.